And hello everyone, welcome back to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, Happy New Year. And today we will be continuing the MSQ for Stormblood. Let's see, where we left off, we just got back into Limsa Lamensa. Feels like a lifetime ago that we left for Kugane, doesn't it? That it has. We certainly spent a lot more time in Doma than, narratively speaking, we were supposed to. I know I sort of for a moment there or two started to wonder, shouldn't we be getting back here? But overall, that bit of the story was really, really good. I did like that. We've been away for far too long, but finally, we're going to make things right. We should inform the Admiral of our arrival and brief her on that which took place in Doma before leaving the city. Okay, so, while you were away, home is where the heart is, Alphanos is in Eorzea. Here we are, home at last. I must say, the journey passed more quickly than I had expected. That would be due to the absence of otherworldly interference, I expect. I should be glad if we did not speak of that unpleasantness again. What unpleasantness? Ahem. But in spite of all that and more, we return better for the experience. And more importantly, triumphant. Indeed. And with Doma freed of imperial oppression, it is only right that we turn our thoughts to the plight of Alamigo. Well, I'm all for that, obviously, but I think you should go and see the refugees at Revenant's Toll before doing anything else. They'll be thrilled to hear what we've accomplished, and it sounds best coming from you. Thank you. I shall do as you suggest. I see I am not too late. Admiral, what are you doing here? The East Aldenard Trading Company informed me of your impending arrival. I have tidings I thought best to share with you in person. From Girabanya? Aye. The Alliance still holds the wall, despite several Imperial counterattacks, but we have been unable to press further into occupied territory. Commander Kemp and his men, meanwhile, have made great strides towards rebuilding their depleted ranks. They have even taken it upon themselves to attempt a few operations, with mixed results, I am sorry to say. 'Twas a complication arising from one such venture which moved me to seek you out. What's happened? Sorry about that, had to deal with something. Anyway, so what happened to Merleweb? During a mission to transport wounded resistance fighters to the Rising Stones, Kryl Baldessian was taken prisoner. Oh, so that's how she was captured. Kryl? Do they know where she is being held? They do not. But your comrades were informed at once, and I am told Thancred is in Girabanya looking for her as we speak. How could this have happened? We must seek out Thancred without delay. Nay, Kryl taught me better than that. It would be unwise to act without first acquiring a full understanding of the situation. Thank you for informing us. Tired though we may be, we must make haste to Castrum Oriens. Pray excuse us, Admiral, Lady Yugiri. Okay, so now we got to go to Castrum Oriens. Arenvald, what happened? I'm sorry, Myrokos. This is all, it's all my fault. What happened now? There you are. You have heard the news? Yep. In broad strokes, from Admiral Blofiswin, what happened? Kryl and a squadron of resistance fighters were escorting Ishtola and several other wounded to the Rising Stones for further treatment when they were ambushed by Imperial forces. Arenvald and his men fought valiantly, but in the chaos. I will make no excuses. We failed to protect her. Do not be so hard on yourself. You protected Ishtola and the others, did you not? Tell us about the attack. It was the skulls. They knew a path across the wall we hadn't found. We thought we were safe once we reached the Black Shroud. We weren't expecting an ambush. During the fighting, I caught a glimpse of their leader's memories. It was all planned. The advantage of having a walker in the field. I'm not as strong in the echo as Myrokos is. Of course, half of the time it's enough to knock me on my arse. Like I've taken a dose of concentrated ether. So you walked in Ferdola's memories. What did you see? A woman promised the world education, training, citizenship, all that and more, but sold her soul. A traitor to her people, a pretender to her masters. It was Xenos himself that gave the order, told her to return with Kryl Baldessian alive. Our agents have been carefully monitoring Imperial communications since the attack, but have yet to intercept any transmissions making reference to Kryl or her current whereabouts. If their orders were to bring Kryl back alive, we can save her if we move quickly enough. As you say, time is of the essence, which is why I intend to slip past enemy lines and see what information I can uncover on my own. In the meantime, it is up to you and our allies to command the Imperial's undivided attention. Lots of shouting and explosions and so forth. Keep them distracted and I will find her. Very well. I wish I could do more to aid you, but I understand. Commander Kemp is on his way to the Castrum as we speak for a meeting with General Alden. If you hurry, you could find him on the road and discuss the situation beforehand. I think Myrokos and I are going to go and see Conrad. Like he suggested, you all wait here. I wish I could go with him. It would be utterly self-defeating, but I would do it nevertheless, okay? There's nothing wrong with wanting something stupid so long as you don't act on it. Remember that? There are other ways you can help her. Alphino called it an advantage, but in truth it was a liability. The vision left me reeling, and Frodola seized the opening to push past and snatch up Kryle. I'm sorry. Yeah, the echo for the first few rounds can be debilitating. It can be so disorienting that you pass out. It happened to me at the start of ARR, after all. He's too hard on himself. It's good to see you again, though I wish it were under better circumstances. What can I say? Patience isn't one of my virtues. Well, isn't this a pleasant surprise? It fills my heart with joy to see you two hale and healthy. Welcome home, Lys Myrokos. I'm sure you've heard about Kryle by now. Yep. That's why we're here. I'm still not sure what to think about it, but we'll save her. We'll definitely save her. Somehow. I have no doubt that you will. You look stronger for your time in the Far East, lass, and that's good news for Kryle. I'd like to think so, but enough about me. How is everything with you and the Resistance? Better than when you last saw us, no mistake. Arnvald's been a godsend. Him and Minago and all the other young bloods have achieved so much in such a short time. We've been blessed to receive the support of the Flames, Alamegan Brigade, who've been instrumental in freeing our countrymen from labor camps throughout Girabania, as well as some political prisoners from the city proper, believe it or not. Together with the refugees returning from Ul'dah and elsewhere, we've had no shortage of able-bodied men and women eager to join the cause. I knew you wouldn't stop fighting, even after what happened at the Reach. Force of habit, I suppose. Though we've come a long way, we still have far to go, but we'll fight for every ilm, and sooner or later we'll get to Alamigo. But listen to me prattling on when we should be making haste to Castromolands. There's no point telling me everything now when you'll only have to say it all again for the Flame General's benefit. You're right. I'll go on ahead and tell the others that you're not far off. Losing Kryle hit us hard, so many of us owe her our lives, which is why we owe it to her not to give up hope. We'll find her, I'm sure of it. Go on ahead, Myrokos. We'll not be far behind. And if you like what you see at any point, subscribe to YouTube, hit the notification bell, give me a follow on Twitch, like, share, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. Stola is safe, but it's still anyone's guess when she'll be strong enough to take to the field. FME and the others of the Rising Stones are looking after Stola now. We need not fear for her safety. As for Kryle, everything that can be done is being done. It falls to the rest of us to carry on the fight. I know, there's not to be gained from giving in to my emotions. I need to stay calm and composed. Kryle herself would say as much. You can go ahead and tell Marshal Towerpen that Conrad's party will be arriving any moment. I thought you were going to do that. Glad to have you with us again, You seem stronger than I remember. Hard, though I find that to believe, one would almost think you'd spent the whole time fighting. Well done, by the way. Well, near about. Imperial scum will make them pay for this. I swear to you, the Imperials will not cross this wall again, on my honor as a man of the Twin Adder. You have spoken with Thancred, then? Good. Take heart. If anyone can track her down, it's him. I believe I hear Commander Kemp's party approaching. If you are ready to address Father and the others, let us be about it. Relger's Beacon. You, Raban, and your allies have much to discuss. There you are, and there is Commander Kemp, I see. I know you are eager to speak of our next move, but we would first hear more of your last. Tell us of your deeds and done.
Pray, join me in welcoming our Scion allies, but recently returned from their mission to the Far East. We have been most eager to hear a first-hand account of your time there, eventful as we understand it was.
Oh, it was busy.
Very well. Allow me.
Such victories are rarely won without sacrifice, but the prize is worth the price. Doma, free after all these years.
Bloody hells. Flooding their own castle for a better chance at victory. We could learn a thing or two from that lad.
Our agents report a flurry of communications between Garlemald and Alamigo in recent days. 'Tis plain they are in the midst of deliberating their response to the Doman uprising.
Good. Every Imperial unit in occupied territory will be on the lookout for civil unrest. The fear of leaving critical locations undefended will make commanders think twice about committing their forces, giving us a chance to seize the initiative.
We have a chance, aye. Mayhap the last one we're ever going to get. While we've done our best to rebuild the resistance, the Imperials have only increased their efforts to root out sympathizers. If we keep on playing for smaller prizes, it's only a matter of time before they crush us again. And that we won't come back from.
A swift advance seems best for all concerned, not least poor Mistress Kryl.
Then let us waste no more time. The campaign for Alamigan liberation begins now. Our first objective will be to capture Castellum Veladina. Take the bridge, and the whole of the fringes will be ours. From there, we can push east towards the peaks. I name this operation Rhalgr's Beacon. For as Rhalgr once sent his star to guide our ancestors to these lands, so too shall it see us home.
The success of this operation is paramount. So long as the Empire holds Castellum Veladina, the main host cannot advance. Xenos knows this, which is why he has ordered Fordola and her men to see to the bridge's defense. So we'll get to fight the skulls again. The Butcher is not to be underestimated. She is decisive, ruthless, and feared by foes and friends alike. But we have a plan to defeat her. First, we send an alliance force down the main road, signaling our intention to mount an all-out assault. The garrison will muster their forces and prepare for a protracted battle. However, they will soon find that we are ill-prepared for their counterattack. Our men will begin to break ranks and flee. It's not good. I see. Show them your backs and give them a target too tempting not to pursue. Aye, Fordola is too aggressive not to press the advantage. She will order her men to give chase. We lure them as far as East End, where the commanders will rally their forces and attempt to hold their ground. If all goes to plan, we should be able to keep the greater part of their garrison occupied, leaving us to tackle the bridge's remaining defenders. Very clever, I'm sure, but what are we to do if the Imperials smell a rat and return before we've taken the place? Good question. I don't need you to take Veladina, Commander Kemp. All I need is for you to fly your flag from its tower. You mean to trick them into believing that the bridge has fallen? Aye, we convince them Veladina is lost, hit them hard with our reinforcements, and watch them go running for the hills. Then, when the dust has settled, we regroup at the Castella. What say you? It's a bold plan, but a good one. We'll do it. In that case, we shall support both the Resistance and the Alliance forces. Myrokos, Lise, Arenvald, I ask that you accompany Commander Kemp. Alize and I will remain with the Flame General. We will return to Rango's Reach and make our preparations. As soon as they are complete, we will join you in the field. Godspeed. I thought I was in... Okay, so I guess we made it to Rango's Reach. If it takes 100 battles like this to rescue Krau, then I'll fight in every one. Well, he's got his confidence back. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting for this. It's going to be grand. Conrad wasn't kidding when he said they'd made a lot of progress while we were away. Okay. Still move our way. In case you haven't noticed, the flag flying above Veladina is bloody massive. It'd take a dozen men to change it, and far too long besides. But there is no need for all that. Right, right, Minago? Not so long as I have my griffin and a satchel of glamour prisms, no. Arenvald, you're in charge of the runners between, us and the Alliance. No link pearls. Lise, I want you to look in on the squadrons. Make sure they've got everything they need. Everybody clear? Aye, sir. All forces are to depart for Castellan Corvi when ready. That will be all. Myrokos, stay with me a moment, if you would. I was wondering why I wasn't included. There's a few men I'd like you to look in on personally. Each of them has lost people, and I can tell that it weighs on their hearts. Okay. There have been a lot of new faces since last you were here, so it's best if I just tell you where to look. One's an officer you'll find in the barber. Another's an older fellow who likes to pass the time on the shore of Starfall. The last is a fiery young lad from Little Alamigo, whom I am told trains by himself by the river to the fringes. You'll know them when you see them. Come and find me when you've finished. Okay. My headset just started to slip off. So now you have to go and talk to people. I say, if it isn't the lad who helped me find the ward I misplaced. But there I go again, treating you as an equal. It wasn't till after you'd gone that one of my comrades pulled me aside and told me it was only the bleeding hero of Eorzea, who'd taken time out of his busy day to help me. Well, what is done, but know that I will fight with every ounce of my strength in this coming battle, and the next, and the next. Mayhap that will serve to repay the favor, or fare you well. Okay? Wait, I know you. Lieutenant Tia. It is an honor to meet you. I was living hand-to-mouth in Ul'dah, but decided to enlist in the flames after I heard tales of your daring do. And now, as fate would have it, I've been sent here to join in the fight for my homeland's liberation. But this is no time to talk. I've got to prepare for the operation. Take care, Lieutenant. We'll give those Imperial Horsons what for. Myrokos, am I right? I doubt you remember me, but I'll never forget you. Saved my life in Little Alamigo, you did. Wilred and the rest of us had got it into our heads that if we had enough crystals, we could summon Ralgar, like the Amalja summoned their god. Thankfully, you put a stop to it. Ever hear about what happened to Wilred? Joined the Crystal Graves when they came calling, only to turn up dead one day. Never found out how or why, but I reckon it doesn't matter. Dead's dead, after all. Oh, I remember Wilred. He was one of our best friends. Yeah, he was a good person. But at least he died doing what he thought was right. And maybe that's the best folks like us can hope for, eh? Not that I'm in any hurry, mind. Oh, so that's one of the kids. But which one? been a while. You've had a word with the men that I mentioned then?
Yep.
As I'm sure you noticed, they've another thing in common aside from tragedy. You've touched each of their lives in one way or another. But that's not the reason I wanted you to speak with them. A man who's lived in Garabania his entire life, who bore witness to the realities of the occupation for 20 unbroken years, a man who fled Alamigo in search of a new life, who swore to serve another nation only for fate to conspire to send him back here. A youth born on foreign soil who never knew his parents' homeland, yet nevertheless felt kinship with our cause. 3 men, 3 stories, 3 reasons, yet all belong to the Resistance. In growing larger, we've grown more diverse, and while there is good in that, there's also the potential for strife and discord. It'd take a special sort to lead such men into Alamigo, don't you think? Good thing they've got you, someone like Lise, you mean? Leader of the Resistance, eh? Don't I have enough titles already? Good thing that Conrad's here. For now, but not forever. And to be frank, I don't always know what to say to the ones who left. Not to mention the youths. Nay, the Resistance needs a leader with a wider view, someone who's not lived their whole life in Garabania, who's known death and hardship but not been ground down by them. Aye, as you may have guessed, I've been thinking of asking Lise, but it'll be her decision in the end. Yeah, I had a feeling that Lise would be the one. I trust I needn't say that this conversation is just between you and me. Alright, my lips are sealed. Good lad. Right then, we'd best head to Castellum Corvi, or what remains of it, rather. After all this time, I'm still surprised some of these fires are still going. that into my inventory. Ooh. Ooh, I don't think I'm ready. Okay. Her name is, Obda. We've known each other since we were small. We'll be going on this mission together. I'll prove to them that it wasn't a mistake. That I wasn't a mistake. You are the warrior, yes? It is an honor. I said it then, and I'll say it again. I won't let it all be for nothing. Okay, doing squats. So, fully, okay, we'll lead the way, while the other units launch their own separate attacks. Remember that we need to hold out until Myrokos sees to the flag. Got your gear in order? Any moment now. Okay, let's do this.
It's begun then.
Good. It's the waiting that drives me mad. Standing around, knowing what's to come. I'll never get used to it.
Calm down, Nago. You're making her nervous. We've come this far, haven't we? We just need to make it the rest of the way.
True enough.
Right.
Looks like the bastards went for the bait. The bridge is ours for the taking. Now remember, Myrokos, I want you to make for the tower as soon as you see an opening and get that flag flying. We'll see to the fighting.
I won't let you down, sir.
Come then. Rolga's star shall burn bright this day.
Here it comes!
was close. You think you're clever with all your little tricks? Think again. None of you are leaving here alive.
Meet my new friend! I'll cut you to pieces! God damn you!
I'll let it ride.
No more running! No more hiding! Let's finish this! Look! The flag!
The bridge is ours! Al amigo! Al amigo! Al Let me go! Yeah!
Stand your ground! It's not over yet! Damn it!
Let them go, Lise. We've done what we came here to do. That's enough for now.
Villadina is fallen? Impossible!
We have them on the run! Forward! No mercy!
Regroup! Regroup! We have to regroup! All units, fall back!
Commander, the 4th cohort has been routed. We'll be at the mercy of the enemy's reinforcements if we don't fall back now.
Idiot! We have the stronger force by far. Don't be taken in by their tricks. Or would you rather tell Xenos you lost to this rabble?
No, but if the snakes betray us in the confusion, we'll have no way out. I'm begging you, Commander. Give the order, or we'll all die here.
As common traitors who drank of muddied waters. For all the good it did us. School's with me! The day is theirs, and so is this bastard bridge. Someone bring the snake.
I suppose. It's our first victory, isn't it? And that has to be worth something.
For a moment there, I didn't think I could do it, but then I did. So, you are indeed everything they say, the stuff of legends. Did you see that, Alba? Owly? We did it. Well fought, brothers and sisters. Today is a day that will be remembered for generations to come. It's a shame Fordola got away, but we did what we came here to do. I have to remind myself, it's just the first step, but it's a big one. We're going to take it back. All of it. One ilm at a time if we have to. One step at a time. One step at a time. Until we're on Xenos' doorstep. Yeah. The fortunes of war. Your work is far from finished, as Conrad knows. There's still a chance that some Imperials are holed up inside the Castellum. We'll need to search it top to bottom to be sure it's safe. In the meantime, I want you to rendezvous with the main host. Keep your weapons at the ready. There's a chance you might come face to face with soldiers on the run en route. Okay. On second thought, it might be prudent for you to do a preemptive sweep of the region for soldiers that have gone to ground. We shouldn't afford them any time to regroup and launch a counterattack. When you've judged your work to be done, report to General Alden in Bettermill. Just because we've won doesn't mean it's over yet. There's still enemies about, and a panicked soldier can kill you just as quick as a cool-headed one. Yep, true enough. Yeah, I need to do this, drawing a blank quest. It's a good thing that Monago got the flag flying when she did. Any longer and those Imperials might have had us at their mercy. The Bull of Alamigo has done it again. His assessment of Ferdola's response was without error. Lieutenant, all's well at the bridge? Yep. Good, good. The fighting has died down here too, as you can see. Pippin left but a moment ago with a contingent of troops to occupy Villadina. If and when the Imperials return, they'll find us dug in behind their own walls. I could not have hoped for a better outcome, General. Splendidly done. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It'll take more than one Castellum to turn the tide. My men and I will deal with the remaining enemy forces. Scions, I bid you return to Commander Kemp and his men. Delight not overmuch in victory, not when there are battles left to fight. Our work here is finished, our resistance allies are waiting. Oh, lovely. Right when I didn't want that. Yeah, I kind of want to finish things off here. Drawing a blank, Lieutenant Milko seems to have regained a sense of calm. Sorry to keep you waiting. I fear the battlefield is no place for a bookworm. If the gods are kind, we'll encounter no further distractions. Now let's begin our search. We're like to cover more ground if we split up. Hopefully there is still some trace of the prisoners left here. And in case you were wondering, when I first picked up this bit for the ether current, it was investigating what happened to the people here at Bittermill. Upon closer inspection of the ground, you see footprints. Some of them appear to be fresh. The cloying stench of rotting debris fills your nostrils. You're unable to discern where the odor is coming from. Charming. The house is much too clean to have been abandoned for 20 years. Ah, Myrokos, thank goodness. I found someone while inspecting the houses. He seems unwell. Unwell? Unwell? No, 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 definitely not. Certainly not. Yes, we're quite fine. But what of you, a little girl dressed in strange clothes? Quite strange, quite strange. What? You have some nerve regarding of how I look? So regardless of how I look, I am a ranking officer of the Order of the Twin Adder. Thank you very much. Now, who are you and what business do you have here? Who? Yes, who? An excellent question. You are you, but who are we? Yes, we would like to know very much. Very much. You don't remember? Well, is there anything you can remember? Remember? Yes, something about this place. Something familiar. Quite familiar. Myrokos, this is only a hunch, mind you, but I suspect he is not from this place. Considering he's an Ellison, he's likely a Gridanian escaped from the Garleans, or perhaps... could he be one of the missing prisoners? It would certainly explain the Garlean soldiers from before. We need to take him back for questioning. Excuse me, sir, but would you be willing to come back with us? At the very least, it would be more comfortable than these dilapidated houses, and we may be able to help you recover your memory. Memories? Sweet memories. Yes, we would like them very much, very much. Alright then, let's return to Castromorians. My browbeating commander will likely wish to meet you. I suppose it can't be helped. Yeah, sorry for this little diversion if you just wanted me to stick with the MSQ, but I kind of have a feeling that getting this little bit here, since I'm in the area, out of the way, might be useful. Okay. Clearly I need to be over 61. If he really is one of the missing prisoners, this could be the defining moment of my career. Even Serpent Marshal Brookstone is sure to take notice. Possibly one of the missing prisoners, you say? I expected such wild claims from Lieutenant Myrokos, but if you would corroborate her report, perhaps this warrants investigation. Until further notice, he shall stay under the protection of the Eorzean Alliance. Sir, with all due respect, you cannot jest. Lieutenant Myrokos, get this man a hot meal and a warm bed. When he's had a bit of rest, see what he knows of Bittermill and the Garleans. It should not be long before we reach a resolution to all this. You're free to wait here until she finishes questioning our new detainee. Okay, seeking answers. The look on Serpent Marshal Brookstone's face suggests that he has grown tired of waiting. I imagine Lieutenant Myrokos has finished questioning the detainee by now. Go and see what, if anything, she's learned. Oh, Myrokos, I've just finished with questioning. Unfortunately, he can recall absolutely nothing of his past. The only thing he's certain of is that he escaped from the Garlean captivity. I'm beginning to believe he really is one of the missing prisoners. But where does Bettermill fit into all of this? I fear we've reached an impasse. It's not as if we can ask the Garleans what they were doing here. Doing there. Or perhaps we can. The soldier who escaped us earlier must know something to have been prowling about the area. He has to be taken into custody. Come, Myrokos. We must speak with Super Marshal Brookstone about assembling a search party. No stone can be left unturned. That soldier is the key to finding the missing prisoners. But it's been a while, and you think he's still in the area? You wish to capture the soldier you encountered at Bettermill? Well, you should know I've already dispatched a reconnaissance team. After reading Lieutenant Myrokos' report, I thought it prudent he be apprehended immediately. However, therein lies the rub. We lack the manpower to sufficiently survey the area. In fact, I was just deliberating over who I should call back to make a sweep of Owen's stash. There's no need for that, sir. Myrokos and I will go. I realize I'm not the ideal scout to assist in this, but we have to find them. I say he has to, we have to find them. Yes. On your guard, Myrokos. I have a bad feeling about this place. Thank you. Okay. We found him, Myrokos. We really found him. What? What are you, These wounds, if he's not treated soon, he won't be telling anyone anything. He's like to bleed out if left unattended. Go and tell Super Marshal Brookstone we found him, and he needs medical assistance before he can be moved. Yeah, why not just ease out and just take the teleporting. Due to completion. And men have searched high and low, and there is yet no sign of this runaway soldier. You found him at Owen's stash? Say no more. Attention, this is Brookstone speaking. The subject has been found at Owen's stash. I repeat, the subject has been found at Owen's stash. He is severely wounded and in need of medical attention. Excellent work. Perhaps now we can finally get to the bottom of all this Bettermill business. The honest truth. Super Marshal Brookstone is eager to know what became of the injured Garlean soldier. By all rights, my men should be back by now. Go and see if you can find Lieutenant Malko. I want to know what those Garlean dogs were up to. Myrokos, I'm happy to report we managed to bring him back safely and not a minute too soon. I plan to speak with him shortly after returning, but the healers won't permit anyone to see him until he's settled and the bleeding's stopped. I imagine we won't have to wait very long. Seems he's finally fit to speak. I don't expect you to be grateful, but I'd like to remind you that you likely wouldn't be standing here if we hadn't found you in that cave. Now start talking. What were you doing out there at Better Mill? We were looking for someone, an escapee from one of our facilities. He'd lost his memory and was otherwise mentally unstable, so we knew he couldn't have gone far. I believe the man you're speaking of is already in our custody. We found him seeking shelter in Better Mill. He claims you captured him, though he cannot recall where. So he returned to Better Mill after all. I guess the past came back to haunt him, even if he can't remember it. Listen, my superiors are not like to show you any leniency. If you tell me everything you know, I will do all within my power to see your life is spared. Do we have a deal? Miss, I may be dressed in their uniform, but you'd be mistaken to believe I owe the Garleans any allegiance. I will gladly tell you. 20 years ago, a group of prisoners was relocated to Bittermill to assist in the Garleans' more unorthodox experiments. They wanted to create a new chemical weapon, one that would leave buildings untouched while killing any and everyone it came into contact with. Black Rose, I believe it was called. That's horrible. Their intention was to drive back Eorzean forces without wasting any of their own on the front lines. Of course, they wouldn't know if it really worked without willing volunteers, and what better place than a village long since abandoned by its people. Not a single prisoner survived, their tests proving a resounding success. It was only a matter of time before Black Rose would be deployed, or so they thought. To the surprise of many, the project was shut down before Black Rose could ever be used. The order came from the legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and interim leader of the Alamegan province, Gaius van Balzar. The Black Wolf would not allow the senseless murdering of Eorzea's people. He saw them as future subjects of the Empire to be ruled, not savages to be slaughtered. Everything was to be destroyed, but the man behind the project would not see his work wasted and ran off with the last remaining samples of Black Rose. He was promptly apprehended, but he'd already hidden away his work. They used every heinous tool at their disposal to make him talk, yet he would not, or rather could not, tell them where he hid it. So the Alazan is the doctor who created Black Rose? The doctor had already gone mad and couldn't remember a thing. I can only assume one of his experiments went wrong and ruined his mind in the process. Then that means the man we found earlier. Aye, that's him. Grillarmai, a former head of research for the 14th Imperial Legion. Wow. I can't believe that incoherent mess of a man was a scientist in service to the Garlands. I think we've heard enough. Thank you for your cooperation. What do you think, Myrokos? A part of me wants to believe it isn't true, but I see no reason why he would lie to us. There has to be some way to substantiate his story. If the entirety of Bettermill was used for their experiments, it would be no easy feat to do away with the evidence of such a massive operation. No, there would have to be some lingering traces of their work, and if they could dispose of it, their only option would be to bury it. Myrokos, we have to go back to Bettermill. Oh, this is a heavily wooded area. That, and it's very overcast, so it would appear a lot darker. The Garlands were making biological weapon. That is charming. But the Black Wolf certainly wouldn't want to use it. Alright, let's split up. There has to be something here, and I'm not leaving until we find it. Your digging reveals a small metal container, though you probably shouldn't touch it. Lieutenant Molko will want to know what you found. You found something? A metal container. Could it be the missing sample of Black Rose? So he was telling the truth after all. Ahem. There's no time to be sentimental nor hasty. Any mishaps in handling that container could prove disastrous. Let's report back to Serpent Marshal Brookstone. So this place was wiped out by a bioweapon. That's charming. And the person who made it has lost his memory. Sorry, hit the wrong key, I think. Lieutenant Molko reporting, sir. We've discovered the identity of the man we thought to be one of the missing prisoners. He is Grillamar former chief of research for the 14th Imperial Legion who oversaw the manufacturing of a chemical weapon known as Black Rose. After a thorough survey of Bettermill, we've discovered what we believe to be a sample of this weapon. We'd like to request assistance in retrieving it. Attention, this is Brookstone. A container we believe to contain a Garlean chemical weapon has been discovered at Bettermill. I need you to get out there and retrieve it immediately. As for the missing prisoners, they were used as test subjects for Black Rose. There were no survivors. Sir, I don't believe we should allow the risk of such a weapon falling into the wrong hands. I agree, Lieutenant. After the weapon has been safely moved to a secure location, rest assured that we will see to its disposal. As for Guillermo, his fate resides with the Council. Considering the weight of his crimes, his punishment will be quite severe. I almost pity the man, but memories or no, his crimes cannot be excused. Lieutenant Myrokos, you've done well today, and I'm sure you're both quite tired. Go and rest, you've earned it. Actually, I think I'll be heading back to Gridania to write up a report. The events at Bittermill need to be recorded, and that we might prevent such atrocities from happening again. I wish I could accompany you a while longer, but I'm sure the Great Griffin's Bane is needed elsewhere. That he is. Thank you again for all your help. I look forward to adding your feats of daring to our records someday. Okay, so charming that they were researching a bioweapon. Chemical weapon, precisely. Okay, with that little diversion taken care of, from a stone bridge to a massive fortress, Garlean engineering never ceases to impress. Now that we have taken control of Villadina, there's nothing stopping us from marching east towards the peaks. If you're looking for Arenveld, I think he's with Pippin, searching the Castellum for any remaining soldiers. Back so soon, I suppose the General and his men had matters well in hand. The Vice Marshal and his men showed up not long after you did. If the gods are good, there will be no one left to fight. Rising fortunes, rising spirits. Conrad would like just as much as you to resume your march east towards the peaks. I know you're not one for waiting, but if you will bear with us. Commander Kemp, Marshal Terrapin reports that their sweep of the Castellum's interior has been completed. So it's finally over, eh? Pray extend to him my deepest thanks. It's official then. Castellum Valladina is well and truly ours. Mayhap this calls for... Wait, where's Monago? She took her bird and flew off towards the Peering Stones, the village of the Yum tribe where she was born. I doubt that the Imperials who fled Valladina had a mind to give them trouble on their way back, but she was nevertheless worried, so I gave her leave to go and see that her people were safe. Though I pray you are right, 'twould be best if Monago were not alone if she should encounter the enemy. Agreed, let's all go to the Peering Stones and make sure everything is all right. If that is your wish, then I have no objection. Just let the guard know when you wish to cross. Greeting sign. Do you wish to pass? Yep. Let's go. Now that I'm on the other side of this, I should be able to get more in the way of, more of the ether currents, and hopefully at some point be able to fly. But of course, tiring though it may be to come and go from the cliff top, it is easily defended and affords an excellent view of the surrounding area. This area is home to dangerous beasts, not that we cannot handle, mind, but do not be surprised if something ravenous and slavering comes charging at you out of nowhere. Okay? The path to the village is through a tunnel just east of here. Follow me. Not just Seekers of the Sun, but Ananta. Mayhap there's a settlement nearby. We may not have seen any Imperial forces thus far, but we mustn't forget that this was occupied territory until very recently. They could still be nearby. Either right. Well, what do you think? Hard to tell from below. That whole village is up here, isn't it? Yep.
Ah, you've come. Welcome, friends, to my village. My home.
How fare your people?
Good, all things considered. Better than the Ananta at any rate. They've sent an emissary. I'll take you to her.
We're here to help. Will you tell us what happened?
Aye. It began with a quarrel between the Imperials and the Kaliana. The Kaliana are another Ananta tribe. The strongest and the most influential. Unlike the Vera, they want no part of our troubles. They swore fealty to the Empire, and were content to remain within their borders.
Just so. The Kaliana forsook their pride in the fight and yielded to Garlemald long ago. But then a new commander was sent to hold the Black Bridge. She demanded the Kaliana surrender a hostage, this butcher.
Fordola. It doesn't make sense, though. The Vera are the ones working with the Resistance. Why would she threaten the Kaliana?
Because she is ignorant like all Imperials. She knows not the difference between Kaliana and Vera, nor does she care to learn.
I see. All Fordola knew for sure was that the Resistance would come from the west. She reasoned, therefore, that if the Ananta on the east bank turned their coats, she would be trapped. I take it the Kaliana had no choice but to oblige her.
No, they did not. The Imperials left with the Kaliana broodmother's own daughter, Anamika. Long days and nights she looked out on the Black Bridge weeping for her child. Until you came. The broodmother knew at once which way the winds would blow. She and her warriors met with the fleeing Imperials in the road and demanded that her daughter be returned.
Bad idea. Fordola's not the kind to take threats lying down.
You know her well. The butcher turned her blade to Anamika and bade the Kaliana move aside. But the broodmother would not yield.
I know where this is going.
The Kaliana surrounded the Imperials, one of whom, whether out of fear or stupidity, cut the child down. There was naught that could be done.
What madness.
The true madness was yet to come. For in her despair, the Kalyana broodmother cried out for her daughter to be restored to life. She beseeched Sri Lakshmi's intercession.
She summoned a primal then and there?
That she did, if only for an instant. Bereft of courage and honor, the broodmother sought solace in her faith. The Imperials fled in terror at the sight of the goddess, abandoning these lands to the Ananta. Now the Kalyana bid us make pilgrimage to pay proper respects. Yet though we Veera revere Sri Lakshmi as the holiest of the holy, we will not prostrate ourselves before her.
And so you turn to us?
Aye. All who have fought with the Resistance have heard tell of the warrior, the Icon Slayer.
I believe we have heard enough. Inconvenient though the timing may be, if a primal has indeed been summoned, we can scarce afford to ignore it. We must needs discuss how best to resolve this situation.
Oh, this is charming. Well, it's starting to get late. I know this is a relatively short stream, but it's coming up. It's basically my dinner time now, so I'll call it a break here. If you liked what you saw at any point, like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Give me a follow on Twitch, hit the notification bells in both places, and I will see you anon, friends.